Hello, everybody. Welcome to Live from the Apocalypse. We are a not for profit TTRPG studio making actual play content in the form of streams and podcasts to raise money for nonprofits, aid organizations, and progressive causes. We're currently raising money for the First Nations Development Institute, an amazing nonprofit working to restore economic independence to indigenous communities across the United States of America. We ask if you like what you see here, take your $5, $6, whatever you can spare. No pressure, no expectations. Donate it directly to the First Nations Development Institute instead of giving it to us. By doing that, you can hit !donate in the chat. The bot will post the link, and you can make the McElroy brothers yell at us and mostly JD and interrupt whatever dramatic and important scene is going on. In terms of donation incentives, a $15 donation will allow you to add to the advantage pool for our players and give them +1. A $20 donation will add to the -1, will give me the ability to give them -1. And if you would donate $25, you can force me, your poor GM, to run the game in a silly voice for 60 seconds. This week's voice will be this. If you would like me to run this game in this voice for 60 seconds, you can donate $25. And now, without further ado, let's introduce our players, starting with Amber.
Hi, everybody. I'm Amber, also known as the Space Jamber. I'm a TTRPG writer, editor, podcaster, and streamer, and I'm excited to help make your game night the most exciting it can be. You can go ahead and follow me at the Space Jamber anywhere there's internet, including Twitter. I'm getting more active on Instagram, all of that. So happy to be here. I am playing Imogen Warwick, pronouns they, she. They are our little non-magical person, actually. In the party, and I'm playing the scholar playbook.
And that brings us to Brendan.
Hello, everybody. I am Brendan, he, him. I am obviously on this here stream. I am playing Sefer, pictured over here to the left of me, being extremely long. Sefer, pronouns they, them, the vessel playbook. Sefer is a teenage Frankenstein. And having just a real time of it. Just a real time of it all around, but it's fine. We're all fine here. Thanks for asking. When I am not doing this, I also am playing Alex Sandowski, aka Victory, over on our Academy H Masks actual play podcast, as well as running Missing Numbers, our Eldritch Horror Pokemon sports anime game every other Tuesday. Missed both of those because I was sick earlier this week, and I could not talk, and it was not really a great time. But I'm back now, in all of my dulcet glory. I also was the GM for Cryptid Community College, our other podcast, which may have a little bonus content coming out here in the near future. And besides that, I also do GM games for people outside of the Streamlands. And if you would like to know more about that, you can always email me at creative.catacombs@gmail.com. And that's it for me.
Okay, that's JD.
As always, one day I will be prepared for this. That day is not today. That is fine. Hi, I am JD. I am a regular cast member and storyteller with Live from the Apocalypse and way too many other channels as well, but mostly on here. I will save you the 15 games that I'm in. We counted them last night. It was a lot. I was judged. It's fine. Speaking of everything being fine, in this game, I play Soren Augustin. He is doing absolutely fine. Everything is great with him. He is an actual saint. He does use the Revenant playbook, but that's just because we don't have a saint playbook. So don't worry about it. Don't think about it. It's okay. He's doing great. no problems, no rammies. And yeah, I think we'll leave it there for the moment. I'll have some things to probably plug at the end. I guess I will throw out now. Come back tonight at 8 o'clock for Table 2, A Season of Secrets and Shadows, where you will see both me and Amber, and I will be doing my third game of the past 24 hours. And that is also very fun. And that is it for me.
And last but not least, Katie.
Hello, everybody. My name's Katie, and I am a baby TTRPGer here on with Live from the Apocalypse, and also apparently a baby artist out there creating character art now. So commissions are open. DM me on Twitter, baby. You can find me there at pager2266. And what else? Oh, I'll be playing Penny, this lovely little also baby who is just doing her best with her low iron stores, trying not to, faint as best as she can. And oh, I do want to say I just got this week some new dice for her from Justin of No Fame Pod and Amherst Dice. Made me some beautiful. I'll just show them there. So pretty.
Ooh, that's so pretty.
It's gorgeous, honestly. He does incredible work. And I'm super excited to be using them. Hopefully they will prove, I don't know, lucky for her. We'll see. She could really use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she could.
Really, really could. Okay. So, well, last session, things actually ended kind of on an upswing for Penny a little bit. Now, we are missing a player. Tragically, we are missing Bedlam, who plays Jerome, our tainted. He do not weep too much for him. He's on a fabulous vacation in Europe. He's fine. I'm not jealous of the pictures he's posting at all. So we are missing Bedlam this week. He will be back. Where we left off last week, or last 2 weeks, last session, things have been looking kind of up for Penny. She had sort of the promise of like getting some decent sleep finally. And then you had this dream where you were visited by someone who was astrally projecting into your dream, who said she could help you.
She helped me hold some limes, honestly. It was so kind.
She did. She helped you hold some limes, and she like seemed to offer help. So I would love you to roll with blood.
Oh dear. Okay.
Just to start off the session.
Yeah, okay.
I love this
Test
for
out
you.
those new dice.
Natural. It's 3.
It's 3. You rolled a 3. Dope.
Thanks, Justin.
We love it. We love it. You have no nightmares. No further nightmares that night. You still wake up feeling tired. But it's more like that. It's less that like existentially exhausted feeling that you'd been having, and more like that jet laggy feeling of like it's going to take me a while to catch up. It's just going to take me a while to catch up with myself here. So it's going to, but yeah, you actually you kind of wake up and are like, finally, like a decent night's sleep.
Amazing.
Also, what happened last night is, or early this morning, Soren, were you in your room or did you stay downstairs to read the letter from Aoife?
Soren went up to his room to read that letter.
Okay, because you also got that letter from Aoife. So it is now Friday morning for everyone. Also, Imogen got some kind of bad news yesterday regarding the archive and their lack of funding.
Yeah. Yeah, it's quite a bit of a lot to deal with right now.
Yeah.
But the church is seeing we've gotten through worse, right?
Yeah, that's what the head librarian said. Not Soren. I don't know why I call everyone in this game Soren. You are all named Soren to me.
We are all
We're
Soren.
soaring. We're flying. There's
You're Soren.
in heaven we can't reach.
Exactly. Sefer.
We got there.
We got there. Sefer and Penny, you both receive texts from Jerome that morning. They are first is like a group chat where he like sends you I'm sorry, you don't have group chats. Not in this game. You don't get texts. Penny, you don't get anything. Jerome, do you have a pager? Do you have any kind of like, you have a lot of technology. Would you have access to like a pager? Penny, you almost certainly would.
By Jerome, did you mean Sefer?
Sefer, yes.
Yeah, no, I feel like, yeah, in the course of all of the various tech that Sefer has sort of spread out across their desk in partial states of dissection, that there is a good quality international pager in there.
Ooh, very nice. You guys both get a little just message from you get a page from Jerome. And when you try to call back, you get basically sent to like a voicemail that just says, "Hey guys, my parents are taking me on like a vacation this weekend, sort of impromptu. So I'm not going to be there. Sefer, can you please take care of Dusty for me? And because he can't come. And Penny, I'm really sorry. I was gonna get you. I know we were gonna get you the sleeping medicine. Um, but I talked to Ace and he's got it for you. So if you want to go talk to him, he'll make sure he gets it to you. But so yeah, I will see you guys on Monday, I guess. Okay, bye. Hangs up.
And anyway, cool, gotta go. My parents are yelling at me about using up too much tape on the answering machine.
Yeah. So yeah, that is the message. That's sort of what you guys wake up to, is this this message left for you.
And I feel like Sefer is having a similar reaction. Because I had this action out of character. I'm like, also, this feels very on brand for Sefer, where Sefer has listened to the message and is like, okay, who the fuck is Dusty?
Ah, that's Jerome's dog.
Okay.
That's the dog that follows Jerome around and steals your toast.
Okay, right. Okay. It's like, wait, for a second, Sefer's like, oh, wait, shoot. Is that a person? Is that a classmate? Classmate, Dusty, classmate covered in dust. Is that? Oh no, that's the mummy classmate. They have a different name. The dog. The dog is Dusty. Yes. okay, never really made much sense to me because the dog is not terribly dusty, but you know, it's okay, I guess.
Excellent. Excellent. Penny,
Oh
how are you
dear.
feeling? How are you feeling about that?
Well, I know exactly who Dusty is, so I feel fine. But right, so Petty is just she listens to the message once, does not process, listens again, right? Just okay, what? Wait, what? Don't do well with change. Okay, okay. So I can go get the meds by myself from Ace. And that's not intimidating. Ooh, I think Petty is probably right because she got an okay night of sleep.
Mhm.
And
You don't
that
feel
was nice.
actively worse?
Yeah. So I think she's going to like keep it in the back of her mind as an option. I don't feel actively worse today. And let's see how many times we pass out during the day. And if it's greater than, I don't know, N,
0?
we
If it's
will.
greater than 0, Penny?
Shh, shh, hush, hush. We will. Yeah, maybe we'll go see Ace. Ugh, at the end of this, I'll probably need to take backup.
Excellent. So you uh the family phone. Let me ask you this. Do you think would Penny have her own phone in her room?
Um, oh man. She does not have a phone that works, but she does have one of the little hamburger phones. It's not connected or plugged into anything, but she has a hamburger phone for sure. And she likes to just like, it looks so cute. It's so cute.
It's so cute. So
It's
you're
so cute.
listening to this like in the living room
Yeah.
or in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Ow.
Oh no.
We all good?
Do you ever just sort of shift your weight wrong and have your knee just go?
Every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Story of my
For
life.
real.
It did that,
Oh
and
man.
I'm not thrilled. Um, that was very effective at scattering all of my thoughts, though. So
Oh
yeah, you took
no.
this call like fully in the living room.
Right.
So I imagine you're very much trying to like school your features. It's the morning time. Again, we sort of established last session that Soren at least wakes up super early to like enjoy some peace and quiet in the house, but you kind of came downstairs and went back upstairs. Um, Penny, are you an early riser or are you waking up with the little kids?
Penny is an early riser because she does like to prepare things for the little kids before things get too hectic. So she'll like make sure that there are like washed and clean bowls, the number of bowls that are needed for the amount of kicks that are required for breakfast. She will ensure that there are right enough of that, and she'll make sure that everybody's things are packed up and that all of the shoes are findable. For a smooth entryway or exit out of the household.
Hmm?
It's usually like 45 minutes before.
Okay. Okay. And what makes a lot of this sort of possible is that your mom pretty much already has all of this set out already. So
Of
mostly
course she does.
mostly what you're doing is corralling shoes because as you know as a fellow parent, like that is an impossible task. They're
Them shoes though.
shoes though. Uh yeah. Um so you've woken up, you've got this message in sort of these moments of peace to kind of process. Upstairs, Soren, you are also currently kind of processing a message.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Another thing that you kind of realize as you're looking at this letter, at this translated, deciphered letter, is it's Friday, which means it's the day for your parents' weekly call. That will be after school. Is that the kind of thing that Soren looks forward to? How does Soren feel about sort of realizing that it's already phone call day?
Soren is hopeful. He is very determined to show his parents how well he's doing. And so he is looking forward to having that opportunity. He is nervous that they will not view things the same way that he does. But he is hopeful that he can show them that he is doing the work that he needs to do to return home.
Morning comes. Everybody wakes up, gets off to school. Is there anything in particular you guys are doing that morning? I think the only change really for in routine is Mrs. Grimpley says to you, Soren, "Oh, Soren, there was a letter for you.
Oh,
Did you
yes,
get it?"
I did. I thank you so much for putting that out by my plate.
"You're welcome."
It's nice to get some mail.
It is. It is. Who was it from?
Oh, just a friend.
That's nice. It's good to get mail like that. You got to let me know if you ever do get back home. You've got to make sure that we have your I'll make sure we have your address to send you back anything. We wouldn't want to get anything lost in the mail.
I really appreciate that. You're always so kind. Thank you.
She like smiles and like sort of grips your shoulder and says, "You're a good kid." And then
Soren
sort of
looks like he's about to cry for a moment, but like quickly covers that up.
and you're not sure if this is like an intentional thing, but she like doesn't really acknowledge you about being about to cry. She just kind of turns and keeps cleaning up the dishes, shouting at Dandelion, you know, uh uh trying to convince Pork Chop to put on his shoes. Um and everybody heads off to school. Um
I do think that Penny at some point would like to attempt to swing by and check in with youth pastor Sam
of course.
about what Jerome asked. I cannot remember her name.
Chicory.
Chicory, that's her name. Yeah.
Mhm. Chicory Saint
Um,
Bride.
Chicory St. Bride. Right. So I think Penny would probably attempt to do that on the way to school if at all possible.
Yeah, I think that's doable. I think that's
Mhm.
doable.
Yeah.
So you sort of stop by the church.
Yeah.
Now you know that uh uh you know this everybody's schedule. So you know that youth pastor Sam is like setting up the church. This is like his day to work with like the littles, like the church daycare. Um when you get in and see him, when you sort of pull up and you look over at him, unloading he's like unloading some stuff out of his car, some like donations for the soup kitchen, uh, some like of his toys, like toys from home that he's giving to the kids here that his kids have outgrown. Um, and um, and yeah, one thing that you can see is he's definitely Youth Pastor Sam is almost always like smiling. And right now he's not being super smiley.
Okay. All right. So I think Penny would probably approach and attempt to like start helping to unload some things and just say like, "Hey, Youth Pastor Sam.
Oh,
Good morning.
hey Penny. And
Sorry, I didn't mean to surprise you."
the smile switches on.
Yeah.
Says, "Hey Penny, how are you doing? Thank you so much. Don't you have school today?"
Oh, I do. Yeah, no. I do. I just wanted to swing by real quick because of the thing that we're doing with all of our
Oh,
friends. We're
yeah.
trying to,
Yeah,
you know,
the supernatural teen group.
sure, the teen group.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so cool. And I'm so cool, and I'm so just again so grateful for what you and I talked about with Father Franklin and how I get to be in charge of that. And that's so much fun, and I'm so grateful for it. And what I do want to bring to your attention is that perhaps some, I don't ever want to make people uncomfortable, right?
Of
Because
course.
it is not the way to spread the word of God, right? We spread the word of God through love and acceptance and all that cool stuff. So Youth Pastor Sam, I got just like I have a concern, honestly, that maybe this might be like actually a disservice to anyone who might be uncomfortable in it. And it would lead to like resentment of the church in the long run, is my fear. I'm just getting those feelings from about honestly it's chicory. It's chicory. I just worry that maybe this isn't the right way for her to see the light of our Lord. You know what I'm saying? Dude?
I hear what you're saying. Roll to persuade an NPC.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, hey, 9.
Ooh, we love to see it. We love a 9. If anybody wants to donate some money, we can make that a 10. Anybody want to donate? Throw a quick $10 in there. It's fine. Okay. Has she spoken to you about this? Has Chicory talked to you about this?
Honestly, she has not talked directly to me, but she did talk to somebody whom she felt comfortable talking with about this.
Mm.
And they relayed the information to me, and I wanted to be respectful in communicating that to somebody who might be able to like actually solve this issue and see it in a compassionate light. And I know you thought, Sam, if there's one thing I say about you, it's that you are compassionate.
He laughs. It's
Yeah,
like,
just for
okay,
fun. Grip
yeah.
it, baby. Slop that down,
You know,
dude.
we're all
Yeah,
trying.
dude.
We're all
Crack one
trying
for
our
the big
hardest.
boy.
Hey, thank you for the donation. That was $10. Who's that
Ew.
from? I can't. That pink text, man.
That was tears as a measuring unit.
Tears as a measuring unit. Okay, so that puts you up at a 10. That actually
Perfect.
gets you a 10.
Oh, thank you.
So thank you very much for that lovely donation to a wonderful cause, and also the wonderful cause of bumping Penny up a success category.
Yo.
Yes, thank you, Tears by volume as a measuring unit. So he sort of says, I can see how this would be difficult for her. I can see
Yeah.
how she wouldn't necessarily want more things to single her out.
Right. Exactly. She's already, she can't hide who she is, and adding on to that, right? Just like adding an extra tax onto that could be really detrimental for, a young woman who is establishing her identity. And, we want to be a source of compassionate support, right? Uh, and maybe the best way to do that is to let her come to us.
Well, you understand this isn't an involuntary program.
Huh.
If she doesn't want to be here, she can just say so. I will be honest, I'm a little surprised to hear that from everything I know about Chicory and from everything I know about Chicory's mother, there's no I'm surprised that she's not she doesn't strike me as someone who's afraid of speaking her mind. So I mean, I'm happy if she doesn't want to be here. I'm happy to talk to her about withdrawing. I don't have a problem with that. Again, I'm just a little surprised she's not doing it herself.
Yeah, admittedly, I don't know her very well. We run in different circles in school, so I'm not, that's probably why she didn't come to me directly, right? But there's, the Venn diagram kind of overlaps and one or two. Anyway, I have friends, is what I'm trying to say. I have friends. Okay, so anyway, I can't speak for why she didn't come directly to me or you or Father Franklin. I wonder if perhaps it had something or anything to do with like the repercussions of withdrawing from the program, because I'm not sure that anyone is clear on what those might be. It doesn't feel particularly voluntary.
He sort of winces. Yeah, I kind of see what you mean. She's kind of in a damned if she does, damned if she doesn't situation, isn't she?
What
'Cause
does happen if she doesn't?
immediate term, nothing. Long term, probably nothing.
Medium term?
Also, probably nothing. Depends on what she wants to do. If she wants to make moves politically, she's got to have the church on her side. That's just the way it is. If she wants to have any kind of leadership roles, it's going to be hard without the church on her side.
I mean, she's probably garnering a good amount of votes for prom queen, right? So politically, she's fine.
And that's what I'm saying. Probably nothing. Like, again, Chicory is, again, I don't I don't know. My kids are in elementary school. I'm not exactly
I
following
know.
up on this stuff. Uh
Yeah.
I so I I can see how why she would be concerned, but honestly, if she doesn't want to be here, all she's really missing out on is she doesn't want to be here. She's missing out on an opportunity.
I feel
She's
that way too.
But if she doesn't want this opportunity, as far as I'm concerned, personally, Youth Pastor Sam, as far as Youth Pastor Sam is concerned, i- if she doesn't want the opportunity, then she doesn't want the opportunity. She doesn't have to take it. It's not my job to, you know, it's my job to lead the horse to water, not to make her drink. That's not too unflattering a
She's a beautiful supernatural horse, Youth Pastor
beautiful super.
Sam.
I can't say that about a teenage girl.
No, you
I
cannot.
cannot say that. I will not say that. But yeah, I'll next time she's here, I'll talk to her, and I'll keep your name out of it, Penny.
Thank you, Youth Pastor Sam. I knew you would understand. You always do.
I get it. Look, it's he kind of gets a look. He sort of like looks into the now empty trunk of his car and then sort of looks at you. He kind of gives you a look and just sort of says, "It can be hard to have faith sometimes."
Hmm.
Like to be the one in a room who has faith in, I don't just mean in this, but in like people. So that gives you compassion. Just-
Yeah.
I just want you to know I see it, that you do have faith in people.
Oh, I do have faith in people. Thank you.
All right, you've got to get to school. You are going to be late.
Oh boy, do I. I gotta get to
Yeah,
school.
you got to
Yeah,
go.
thank you very much. Okay, good luck with the rest of this and with the kiddos today. You're gonna do great as you're a great dad, and I'm gonna go on to
He
school now.
he waves. Do you want, as you're leaving, to figure someone out at all, or would Penny just be like, bleh, and not really think about it?
I think with that, like statement at the end, she absolutely would, especially with like the look that he gave her, right? Of that, like
Hmm.
sort of the demeanor kind of falling. Yeah, I think I would like to figure someone out.
Okay, roll.
Oh boy. Okay. Oh goodness me, it's a 3 again.
Oh no! Oh no!
It's okay.
Uh, yeah. You you have no idea.
I
Like
have no clue.
as you're running, you don't have a read on him. Maybe you can come up with explanations that seem fine. You know that his kids are in elementary school. He's got two kids. One of them's like 7 and the other's like 6. Like that they're like two kids that are very close in age, but like critically not twins. Like that, but
Mhm.
like you know just a really tough situation, and he's tired a lot. So who knows? He's probably just putting his own stuff on you. He does that sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, like, whatever. He's doing his best. He usually does.
He's doing his best.
Right? We can all only do our best, and when we know better, we can do better.
Exactly.
Confidently walks off to school, thumbs under the backpack straps.
Absolutely. Sefer, on your way to school, I even was thinking Sefer, and I almost said Jerome. Sefer, as you are heading to school, you see Dusty lying on the sidewalk, ordinarily where you catch up with Jerome. Just sort of sad, kind of dejected, sort of looks up at you, big doggy eyes.
Yeah, nobody. And Sefer will reach into their backpack where they have brought, especially for Dusty, an extremely burnt piece of toast.
Jumps up, grabs it out of your hand.
It is basically charcoal, but Sefer knows that is actually the way that Dusty likes it, for reasons that I'm sure are not relevant in any way.
Just dog reasons.
Right? Yeah, dog reasons.
Dog reasons. Yeah, Dusty eats the toast, loves the toast, and is then trotting alongside you perfectly happily. And as you're walking along, you see Soren. You see Soren heading up. Soren, you would normally be walking up with Penny, but Penny sort of took a detour off to the school, off to the church.
I mean, vaguely with Penny. I don't think Soren and Penny actually ever show up at the same time because Penny usually ditches him. So, like, Soren is pretty used to this.
Yeah. So you're pretty used to this. But you see Soren walking up to the school. But you don't see Penny yet.
Okay.
Do you approach?
I think Sefer will approach. I think Sefer doesn't know Soren particularly well, aside from the fact that they were in the meeting together. Though Sefer does sort of kind of know Penny and knows that Soren knows Penny. So I guess that basically makes them friends.
Yeah.
Hey Soren, what's up?
Oh, hey Sefer. And Soren looks a little nervous when you approach, but he gives you a smile and is trying to be warm, but he looks a little uneasy.
I'm trying to remember the full text of Jerome's message. So who all did Jerome name check in his lengthy answering machine tape?
It was just Penny and you. And
okay, all right.
You to watch Dusty and asking and telling Penny to get drugs from Ace.
Okay, cool. All right. Hey Soren. So ready for the next group meeting?
As ready as I can be. I don't really know what to expect after the last one. It was a lot more exciting than I expected. In a way I didn't expect.
I guess I wasn't sure exactly what I was expecting, but I think it wasn't that. I kind of wish they would almost give us homework or something, just so I would have an idea of what I'm supposed to be doing. I kind of feel a little bit I get in that circle and I'm okay, so why are we here, man?
I mean, I think homework could be really good. I always like it when things are written out and in front of me and clear.
Me too, man. Me too. Yeah. Big same.
But I mean, I think we're there to pray and connect with each other, and Soren looks a little bit lost at that point as he trails off.
Sefer does not actually immediately restart the conversation. Sefer has gone through the script of talking to a person that they sort of kind of know, and is satisfied with the result.
Sefer, could you describe to me your instincts?
My instincts. Yes. Here, give me a moment. Oh, that's not Adobe. That is Windows PowerShell, which is not what I want. What do I got? Okay, yes, my instincts, my several instincts. Do you want just all of them?
Yeah, and tell us a little bit about what it means to be a vessel and what a vessel's instincts are.
Sure. All right. So, as a vessel, I am a creation. I am created, if you will. Though perhaps that might be skirting a little bit too close to copyright. But my creator built me to fulfill a particular function, although I've proven to be more adaptable than expected. To help me better serve my purpose, my creator imbued me with a number of powerful instincts. And these instincts, these imperatives almost that I would like to describe them as, are specifically to serve the powerful, to protect the valuable, to hunt the disloyal, and to labor in silence.
Mhm.
Sefer is very good at the last one.
Yes. Yes. I would like you two things. First, I would like you to roll with spirit.
Roll with spirit. You got spirit, kid. Use it. That is an 11.
Ooh, wonderful. You are walking along, sort of next to Soren in what you perceive as perfectly companionable silence. And you see Ezekiel, you see the little fox. The fox kind of looks up at you, narrows its eyes,
So
and
I
then
do see the fox.
you do see the fox.
I see the fox with mine eyes.
You
Okay.
see the fox with your eyes. The You can always see the fox, but you don't always notice the fox. You notice the fox, and you sort of notice uh yourself noticing the fox, and you think that's interesting because you're usually pretty good. Your optical circuitry is way better than humans' optical circuitry. There shouldn't be anything really capable of fooling your eyes. If it is a thing that is real and physically present in the room, you should be able to see it. And if it is a thing that is not real or present in the room, then you probably wouldn't be able to see it or perceive it, at least visually. You are fully aware of your own visual processing functionality.
I'm
Unless there's,
exceptionally aware.
yeah. You're reminded of something. Something that you're reminded of the time before you were, and the void before. and the tearing asunder of the void that comes before. There's something wrong in this animal. There's something wrong in this thing that is not part of the natural order of things. It is out of order. It is out of how the world is supposed to be. I need you to roll to keep your cool, to avoid acting on your impulse, your instinct, to hunt the disloyal.
All right. Am I cool? Am I cool?
Are you
Am I
cool?
cool? All right.
I think we're all super cool.
We're all super cool here.
We're super cool
So
here. That's
cool.
why we're all playing Dungeons and Dragons in the middle of a work day.
Actually, we're playing Urban Shadows.
Actually, we're playing
Okay.
Urban Shadows. Okay.
Bottom
Okay.
est, okay?
Okay, let's see. Rolling with spirit. All right.
Yes.
Plus all as well. 7 to 9 MC will tell you what it's going to cost me. All right. Rolling with spirit. Once again, you got that spirit, kid. That is a 7.
Okay. Let me I should have been on that. Okay. You are able. We're gonna do this a little bit backwards. I was just telling you the situation you wanted to avoid. You rolled a 7. Why don't you tell me what it's going to cost you to not start hunting this fox? Unless you want to, unless you think that would be funny.
Well, what I think that what's actually going to happen is that so Zephyr's sort of walking along, doing their thing. They have successfully conversed on the way to school, just like them and their dad talked about, and just gonna but and just sort of like now is just in their own little world, thinking about stuff that they like to think about, chemical reactions and shit. But then notices the fox, and the fox at that point is just sort of the sole focus of their attention. And it is not actively like trying to like get the fox, but the fox is the focus. Is the focus of all of their attention. Soren has almost functionally ceased to exist in this.
He's used to that. It's
in
fine.
this equation, and I think is going to basically just kind of start following the fox. Is the fox going to school with them?
Mm-hmm. Right, the fox is walking. The fox is walking right next to Soren, the same way Dusty is walking right next to you.
All right. Well, I think at that point, yeah, Sefer is not going to be like going after the fox, but they're going to, I think, just be hyper focused on the fox and trying to get their head around it, trying to figure it out.
Are you in this moment succumbing to this instinct, or are you avoiding the instinct?
I would put that in your court, whether just because if you would interpret their interest as being following the instinct of hunting, or if you feel that hunting in this case would be a more sort of actively aggressive sort of action.
I don't want to. I'm not going to declare that you have to. That your impulse here has to be aggressive, because that would be me playing your character for you.
In which
so
case,
I think you kind of get to decide what that instinct means, because it doesn't say attack.
Yeah. So in
says,
this case, if given the leeway to interpret that instinct, I would say that Sefer is following the instinct.
Okay. Okay. In that case, what I'm going to have Soren. Basically, what I was going to have to do mechanically is, if you are fully following the instinct, Soren does not have to roll anything to notice that you are doing this thing. If you were pulling back and trying to hold it back, that's probably what you were going to be giving away, was that this happened.
Okay.
But if you are fully just following the instinct, Soren, you lose the shadow that had been next to you is now following behind, and they appear to have 100% of their focus on Zeke, who every so often is just looking over its shoulder and like shaking itself as you walk.
And if Soren were to pick up Zeke,
does that change their focus? Does that change Sefer's focus?
I think Sefer would probably look a bit surprised, in that sort of sense of like at that point, I think once Soren interacts with Zeke, Soren re-enters Sefer's world, essentially. At that point, Sefer, I think, will just look at Soren and be like, you can see it too?
of course, I always see Zeke. And he just runs a hand over Zeke's head.
And that doesn't bother you at all. Trying to get back into Sefer's Dembo voice. You can see them, and that doesn't like bother you at all?
Why would it, Sefer?
It's just they're like can't. Okay, so do you know how it's like when like literally none of your clothes fit right? Every single thing that you try on does not fit right.
I've never had that experience.
Except for sort of like adjusts their janky frame under their giant coat. Yeah, it must be nice, all I'm saying. Well,
I mean, I will say it's very clear all of Soren's clothes have been specifically tailored to his body.
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense.
This child is immaculately
Yes.
tailored.
Just
shows up flawless every day.
Yes, yeah. Drip on fleek. Just would it be better if I said it in separate? Yeah, man, drip on fleek. Yeah.
Yes, actually. In fact, you can only say it that way from now on.
No.
Can we get just for that? I feel like that actually qualifies for the just hearing that qualifies for the mortality faction, because I'm dead.
Oh, okay.
Totally dead.
Okay, well, I guess what I'm saying is that, like, okay, so how do we, you know how everything in the universe is sort of like an emanatory context, right? You know, like everything sort of exists on a continuum between the above and the below.
Soren nods in a way that says he understands none of this.
Zeke looks at you, narrows its eyes, and nods slowly.
Okay, well, I don't like that. That fox thing. It's wearing its clothes wrong. It's nothing. It's wearing reality wrong.
Zeke is unusual. I will give you that, but that's because miracles are unusual, Sefer.
Well, I'm just saying that, like, I don't know. It's like having like a rock in your shoe. You can't get rid of. Yeah, no, like, okay, so like that fox is like a rock in the shoe of reality.
And Soren's jaw tightens a little bit. He's not trying to hide it. And it is clear just for a moment that he is not a fan of that statement. And then just goes back to petting Zeke and says, well, the Lord works in mysterious ways, and whatever is happening with Zeke is exactly what is intended to happen with Zeke. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for them.
No, okay, man. You do you, I guess. And Sefer will resume walking, but is going to just sort of be keeping Zeke in Soren's arms, just kind of constantly in their peripheral vision. And at a certain point, I think when Sefer thinks Soren is not looking, whether or not Soren is looking is entirely up to him. Sefer's going to be like at Zeke.
Zeke sneezes at you, and sort of looks up at you, Soren, and says, "You have the faith of a child."
And Soren wants to respond and also knows that Sefer's eyes are on him right now. And with that, just shrugs. And that is the only acknowledgement he gives to what Zeke has just said.
Zeke sort of settles down in your arms and kind of like goes to sleep, like just straight up like it's like I'm being carried. I don't see why I would have to be awake for any of this motion. And you guys get to school. Imogen.
Listening.
That morning, did you tell your parents about the archives financial woes? Did you tell anyone about that?
Imogen tries to like not bring it up when she comes down the stairs in the morning, but of course is terrible at hiding any kind of concealing any kind of information from her parents specifically. So they can see like the little lines in her brow as she's, trying to keep it in. While, during her morning prayers over breakfast. And definitely it is eked out of her by her mother, I'm sure.
Yeah, on about like the fourth or fifth. Are you sure you're okay? Like,
Well, mother, the church is cutting the funding for the archives. So I mean, I'm assuming since my position is unpaid that I will be kept around, but of course that impacts any further research that we can do moving forward. But it's fine. The church, the the church has faced much more, much worse in the face of finances.
That's true. But I'm sorry this is happening.
Did you know?
I didn't know. I recommended against it. I knew it was a possibility.
Well, we will be losing one of our best and brightest, Mother. And,
Victor?
yes. Are you sure there's anything you can do to... I'm scared of what would happen if the church suddenly lost access to countless records and journals and
Its own
artifacts.
history. Its own history. How are we a church without our past? How are we any of these things? How are we a community without the knowledge of who we were?
We can't preserve ourselves for the future if we don't have that past. You taught me that. Dad taught me that.
I used up a lot of my personal social capital in trying to preserve you and me from the fallout of some of your father's decisions. I don't have a lot left to spend.
Of course. I'm sorry. It was selfish of me to ask.
It's not selfish. It would be selfish of you to ask me to use it to break you out of jail or to get you out of trouble in school. Asking your mother to use her social capital to help you save a part of the church is about the opposite of selfish, Imogen. I'll do what I can do. I'm not trying to make you feel guilty about this, about asking me. I just want you to know that I'm limited. I've become very limited
Yeah,
in the past 2 years, and
of course. I just... it just feels targeted. Like, why now? Why now? Why 2 years after the fact? If the archives were supposed to suffer any repercussions, we should have suffered them 2 years ago. Not now.
it can't be an attack on us. It can't be. I don't mean that in like the archive is too big
Right.
to try to take out the archive. Firing me, getting me disbarred would be a more meaningful attack on us. Imogen, if you want to move, I know I saw it too. Don't give him Don't acknowledge him.
I'm sorry. I just, I looked out the window and there was a clown outside and I couldn't just not look at him.
He's
We don't look at the clown. We do not acknowledge the clown in this society.
When will God free us
True
from these
clown.
clowns? From these true clowns?
And these nightmares are exclusively clown based from now on.
When will society move past the need for clowns and clownery?
Come on, man. We're trying to have a moment of
menace.
of menace and uncomfortable bonding between mother and teen.
I laughed so hard I woke Obi up and he's glaring at me now. So Will, I hope you're happy.
How could you? How could you do this to Obi?
You can't.
She says, Imogen, if you want to move politically, one of the things that you will need to learn to do is recognize that you are not the only actor. This is difficult, and I think it's harder when you're younger. It gets easier as you get older, mostly because of all the times that you'll fail to recognize others as actors. I very much doubt that this has to do with us. It may have something to do with someone else, or a group, an organization. If perhaps the church suspected that there was another group operating out of the archives, they might try to starve that group of access. If the church suspects that the archivist, the head archivist, is less than loyal, they might try to starve the archives. Think like your opponent. Think big picture. Consider what reasons you might have to starve an opponent. That will get you to your enemy.
I just don't even know who my opponent is right now.
No.
But I guess that's what they're doing, is the churches.
And you may not even have an opponent. You may just be, the archive may simply be the victim of accounting. The church borrowed heavily during the war from various governments, and those debts come due. I will look into what I can, and I can try helping out with fundraising. If the archive wants assistance with raising funds, that is something that I can do. There are certainly other places that can provide funding other than the church.
I can ask if that's something that they would be interested in. But if you've expended a lot of your social capital, then I get it. You wouldn't happen to know, like, hold on. Stella, I have a proposal.
Propose something.
I would
a
like to
proposal.
use one of my drama moves, my intimacy move. When you share a moment of intimacy, physical or emotional, with another person, they get a debt on you, but I have what they desire.
Ooh.
Ask them to name an item they've been seeking. That item has recently turned up in your arcane network. I propose a trade. That meme. I receive, you receive.
You see. I see. Okay. So this is definitely a moment of intimacy, I think, between you and your mother.
Yeah.
You know, your mother is a very good politician
Mm-hmm. Yes.
and not a great mom.
Correct.
Like, she's not like a bad mom. Like, we know the bar is on the fucking floor for like being a bad mom. Like, you've got all the stuff you need, and she clearly loves you. She just doesn't always know how to translate that love from like what's going on with her intellectually and with all the shit she's doing
Right. There's not
to
a
like
lot of emotional vulnerability there.
no. So this is the closest you get to her being emotionally vulnerable, is her like trying to instill uh you know, realpolitik.
Yes.
Okay. So what we're going to do with this is we will let some narrative stuff come into play rather than just have her name an artifact.
Mm-hmm.
Um
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking about. Like, instead of an actual artifact, instead deal with like whatever, I can help
yeah.
facilitate a whatever she needs.
Okay. Absolutely. Um all right, let me just take a note here. Beautiful. Um So yeah, you have this conversation with your mom. Your dad comes downstairs eventually. Um, he was he was up late last night, but he and your mom appear to have slept in the same room.
Oh,
So that's probably a good thing.
okay.
Probably. Like he's at least coming down. He's coming downstairs, so he was not sleeping on the couch this time.
Yeah.
So yeah, he comes downstairs. He pours himself a cup of coffee. And you head off to school. Um, is there anything everybody wants to do at school today? Is there anything that's like pressing for anybody? Okay. Then the day goes relatively smoothly. Um, that evening, Penny, you get a text, not a text, you get a page from a
Yeah, she
number you
does.
don't recognize.
Row.
And it just says, call me back.
Okay. Uh, okay. Okay. I'm gonna do the thing. The phone is in the kitchen,
Hmm.
right? Okay.
Hmm.
So, and it's got the curly cord.
Hmm.
Okay. So I'm gonna take it off the thing. I'm gonna press the number in, and I'm gonna take that phone and walk it through the screen door in the back of the kitchen so that I'm standing in the backyard. So we can have just a air of privacy. Okay. Shutting the door on the cord.
Hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Hi, is this Penny?
Yes.
Hi, Penny. Jerome's told me a lot about you.
With whom am I speaking?
Oh, this is Ace.
Oh, yes, of course. Great. Excellent to be conversing with you, sir.
Great to talk to you as well. Hey, listen, Jerome told me you needed some Ambien.
Uh, yeah. Is that what he... Yes, I suppose that is true.
Okay, I'm gonna just real quick need a couple of details from you. I apologize. These things might seem invasive, but it's just so that I know what you need. How old are you? I know you're near Jerome's age. What year?
I'm 15. I'm 15. I'm 15. I'm 15. I'm 15 and 3/4.
And
sir.
3/4. What's your height and weight?
I, this seems personal, but okay, I am 5'4" and 3/4, and I weigh 110 pounds. I don't take my weight very often.
That's fine. Just looking at dosing requirements.
Sorry, what? Okay, great.
Okay, I think I know what will help. How long has it been since you have been able to sleep?
Oh gosh. Um, since the vision started. Since Saint Soren's death.
Yeah, Justin, fucking grip it and rip it, baby. Slop that down, dude.
Shit, girl. I don't know. Ambien's gonna do it for you. Shit. All right. Well, okay. Jerome didn't tell me about visions.
Oh no.
So that's what? 6 months?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
6
been a
months.
while.
Okay. I will give you, calm down. If you can come down by the snake pit, you're 15 years old. You can't come inside.
Cannot come inside of the snake pit. No, thank you, sir.
You cannot come inside. You cannot. I do not need my nightclub shut down by the government.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Come by the snake pit and I will get you the pills.
Okay. Hey, alternatively, okay, and this is just a fun thing that maybe we could discuss as an alternative. Okay. So what if in one of my visions I met a person and I would like very much to meet that person again? Maybe via vision, maybe in person. Can you help me?
Yes.
Cool.
If we are engaging in some kind of new business arrangement, you and I should meet in person.
Mm-hmm.
Meet me at the Morning Star Diner after church on Sunday. You reckon you can do that?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. We'll have pancakes. Fucking love those pancakes.
I
All
love
right.
those pancakes.
Bye. Click.
Bye.
Penny, you just made a deal with a demon.
Okay.
Your
Penny's
first fustian bargain. Oh, I'm so proud.
okay. Yeah, no, Penny's still fully just like chewing on the cord, just
Yeah.
and then she's gonna. All right. Okay. You did such a good job, Penny. You're doing a great job. And then she's gonna walk back in and put the phone on the hook and very quickly and quietly, and hopefully no one saw any part of that because Penny does not have a cover story ready.
I would like you very quickly, in just for that, just
Okay, great.
just real quick, just roll keep your cool, just roll keep your cool real
Yeah.
quick.
Sure. She loves to roll keeper cool. Hey, 7. Okay.
Oh, 7.
Okay.
Nice.
Thanks, Justin.
Yes, your dice are excellent.
Vital.
Okay, so you you walk out and you immediately see Dandelion.
Hey, Dandy. What's up?
You're not supposed to be talking on the phone outside.
Mom never said that specific rule, Dandelion.
She did because Porkchop clotheslined himself with the phone cord the last time.
Yes. Okay. Fine. Yes. Fine. Yes, she did make that specific rule. And what of it?
Who were you talking to? Because you only talk to people out on the porch when you're feeling ashamed.
Oh. I was talking to your mom. And then
Rude!
run away.
All right.
It worked. It fully worked.
Fully worked. Dandelion is now furious. Oh, we've got a poll, guys, if you want to vote in the poll in the chat.
We also got a
Okay.
donation for $15 from Chicken Livers.
Yay! Thank you, chicken livers. Chicken
Aw.
livers, the number one source of galliform iron.
What is that? What's galliform iron?
Galliform just means from chickens.
Yeah, from
chickens.
chicken-esque things.
I learned something today. Thank you.
Wow.
Brendan and I both spend a lot of time coming up with really complicated ways to say very simple things.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
As I was saying to someone in another chat last night, I do not know why it is that I am the way that I am, but wow, I sure am that way.
I personally blame my upbringing. Yes, galliform iron is absolutely a death metal band in the TKC universe. They're actually playing at the Snake Pit next weekend.
Sick, bruh.
Okay, so school happens. And we are going to take our first only break. We don't take 2 breaks in this game, but we're going to take a break. And I will see you all in about 10 minutes. All right. Thank you very much for being here. Enjoy the music, and we will return. All right. So here we are, having returned. Welcome back to Thy Kingdom Come, where everything is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Bonum est. It's fine.
Bonum est.
Speaking of everything being fine, you guys go to school and it's Friday. No one's really paying attention, not really even your teachers. which for some of you, that's great. You kind of love to coast. It's kind of nice to just sort of coast by. For some of you, it's a little bit like, God damn it, I'm here to learn.
Why you gotta call Sefer out like that?
We just know what you're like, buddy.
Call men out. Call men out.
Call men out. Call Frankensteins out. We're calling out all Frankensteins here. I really shouldn't have put granola in my mouth right at that moment, but I did.
We all make choices.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say this on air. Hold on.
It's really good granola. Anyway. Love it.
Very good.
Very good. You could have said that on air.
I'm better than Will.
Oh, yeah.
That's valid.
True. That's valid.
That's so valid.
Just blanketly true.
Totally.
Yeah.
The
None of
bar
us.
is so low.
None of us are going to deny this. Anyway, I don't even know if he's here to defend himself, which that's fine.
Shame.
Shame.
He wouldn't defend himself anyway.
Yeah.
He has. There's no defense. Anyway, I hope he listens to the VOD of this and is like, hey. So yeah, some of you are like, yeah, this is great. Some of you are like, man, this is kind of lame. But then it's the end of school. You're all heading home. And when you get home, Soren, you are invited to Mr. Grimpley's office, where they have there is a private phone for you to use to speak with your parents. So there's the family phone in the kitchen, but the kids are, brought in here to... Now, Mr. Grimpley's office, which you might be imagining when I say that, is like a nice, professional, clean office that might actually look something like a little bit like what's behind Katie right now. Like with nice, like very organized shelves, very well designed, because everything else in the house is very it's very aesthetic. Mrs. Grimpley has an aesthetic that she tries to promote within the house, and it's one that works with the chaos. Mr. Grimpley just kind of runs with the chaos. This is less an office than it is a really big closet full of computer stuff. This place looks like Sefer's workbench scaled up, basically, because he loves computers. He loves technology. He likes taking stuff apart and putting it back together again. And this is where he does that. So it is like a computer tinkerer's office. If any of you have gotten to see Bedlam or Tracy's offices, that's what it looks like. Complete with horrifying Furby up in the corner.
Thanks,
Horrifying skinned Furby.
Skinned Furby?
Oh no.
Wait. Hold on. Wait. This is a really important distinction. Skinned, like past tense, skinned Furby, or like a Furby made of skin?
No.
Skinned, like removed, like its exterior, fluffy exterior removed, so you just see the little gears that animate its little face.
So it almost got really dark.
Horrifying.
Yeah, not a Furby.
It's still bad.
No, it's
bad.
It's unsettling, but not in a Hellraiser kind of way.
Although that being said, given what we have established about the technology in this world, I feel like it's a reasonable bet to say that Furbies are almost definitely wet intelligence.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's some.
Oh no.
That's
Where's
a
the
heretical
merch?
microwave right there. That's
Where's the merch?
Jesus.
Where's the heretical microwave Furbies are wet intelligent merch? Gimme.
we need a heretical microwave. Let's see. We've come up with a lot of merch over the past 2 days.
Good God.
Between the Carhartt Throb and the heretical microwave and Furbies.
John Snipe is a bitch,
John
obviously.
John Snipe is the
John
bitch.
Snipe is a
and
bitch.
had it coming. He hasn't even shown up in this episode.
He doesn't have to.
Doesn't have to. He's a bitch.
This is for
Had it
you,
coming.
John Snipe.
Came for Soren.
Yeah,
And
he
you
did.
missed.
Mm-hmm. He did miss.
He did miss. Yeah, that was session 1. You weren't here for that, Amber. So yes, it's this office. There is just a regular old. In this case, old. It's not a regular, but it is old. It's a full on rotary phone. And you know that sometimes like the little kids will come in here and like run around and like play with it, but you are the only one in here right now. And the phone rings at the appointed time. You sit in Mr. Grimpley's chair, big leather chair, and Zeke hops up in your lap, and your mother speaks first. Hey, Soren, how you doing?
Hi, Mom. I'm doing well. How are you and Dad?
We're fine. Have you seen the news recently? Did you watch the news today?
No, I didn't. Did something happen?
Your friend, Aoife. I'm sorry, your mother would absolutely not call her Aoife. Your friend, how you say her name? Alfie? Alfie?
It's Aoife, Mom.
Aoife, right. Well, turns out her people reached out to our people, and turns out she's coming to the United States for a speaking tour.
That sounds like wonderful news, Mom.
And her people were reaching out to our people because they wanted to see if you wanted to join her.
I mean, of course I would.
Now, we've just got to talk to Estelle. So we can get you back on the stage. Get you back doing what we know you love to do.
I do miss it so much, Mom.
I'm sure you do. It's been a long time since we've had a nice, normal family event.
Does that mean that you and Dad would be coming along?
I would love to come along. I would definitely be there. If you can work on Estelle and with your the Gumbies and figure out how we can make this happen, I would love to get you out there signing some books. Oh, did I tell you we picked out a new ghostwriter for your next for a book that we'd love to have coming out? They should be contacted. We want to see if we can get some interviews planned out. Maybe we can do this while we're on tour. And she starts just the litany of tour planning washes over you.
And Soren nods and says, That sounds great and okay wherever he can get a word in.
And she sort of keeps on going with this, and she says, and by the way, you haven't told those people anything about us, have you?
I'm not sure what you would be worried about me telling them, Mom. I mean, all I can tell them is how well you and Dad always treated me.
Good. And how much you're looking forward to coming home, right?
I tell them that every single day.
Good. We will hopefully see you soon.
Mom, before you go, Dad isn't around, is he?
Uh, let me see. Hold on. And you hear the phone being put down, and sorry, I'm real quick reminding myself what your dad's name is.
I don't remember what my dad's name is. It's
What your dad's
fine.
name is. Who remembers NPC names? I mean, really.
Especially with all the NPCs we have in this game.
I remember Chicory Saint Bride, and that is it. Chicory and Dandelion. I remember my angels. I just read angelic, and I said angels. They're fae. They're not angels. They're much
Kibo?
worse.
We know
Kibo,
Kibo.
Yes, we remember Kibo.
the puppy. We know the puppies.
Remember Kibo?
Did you ever I'm not even seeing. Oh, Calvin and Martha. There we go.
That's right, Calvin.
Calvin. You hear your mom. You're all, hey, Cal. What? You want to come talk to Soren? Why would I want to do that? Oh, he's just not available right now. I reckon you know him. I reckon you know how he'll take a magazine to the bathroom and not come out for the next 5 hours.
Yeah, Mom, I know Dad's a busy guy.
Well, we'll see you hopefully soon. Like I said, we'll work on our side of things and you work on your side of things, and we'll be back together again in no time and back on the trail. All
I
right?
look forward to that, Mom.
Well, me too. Have a good one. Bye. Click.
And Soren keeps the phone up to his ear, even though the phone line's dead, and just says, I love you, Mom, and then hangs it up.
Why did you lie?
Didn't lie, Zeke.
No.
No, I love my mom, and I mean, I love my dad too.
Do you love them, or do you merely wish they were deserving of your love?
What's the difference?
You would not wish to kill someone you loved.
Zeke, I don't wish to kill my parents. I don't wish to kill anyone. I've never wanted to hurt someone a day in my life.
And as Zeke exhales, you remember being cold. You remember a thing. You remember a cold that hasn't left you, a freezing, killing whiteness. Fanged. And knowing there was one way out of this, there was one way out of this void, this chewing void. And it was blood. That was the one thing that would warm you. And you remember thinking, not Zeke, not some spirit, but your own howling, betrayed rage, knowing exactly who was responsible for this and whose blood needed to be spilled to sate you. That memory hits you hard. And Zeke says, "You struggle so much to maintain your lie."
That's not what happened, Zeke. That's not how it went. I was resurrected. I was resurrected because I'm a saint. There's no need for any of that. There's no need for anyone to be hurt. How do I know that's not the lie?
Lies are a distortion. Reality wearing the wrong clothes. There is only so much of that I can be. I do not lie. You are not ready. I will not push.
If you're telling me I have to kill someone, Zeke, I'm never going to be ready for that. That's not who I am.
Zeke doesn't seem to have a response to that. Just sort of hops down off your lap, noses the door open, like does that thing that some dogs and some cats seem to be able to do, where they just manage to just fully open a door with the power of their skull, and just sort of trots out.
And Soren watches him go and just sits there, trying to breathe, trying to push all of these feelings back down, and getting his mask solidly in place before he walks out to potentially face anyone else in the house.
Okay. I'm going to let you, actually, let me see. You can either roll to put your mask back on. I will let you either roll persuade an NPC that you're fine, or mislead, distract, or trick. So you can either use mind, depending on how you're doing this, you can either use mind or heart. You could also conceivably use keep your cool. But the rammies of keeping your cool, of failing keep your cool, are a little more significant. Excuse me.
Okay. You know, I think I would like to roll to keep my cool. I would like to accept those potential rammies.
We love to hear it. Let's go.
That is an 8.
Wonderful. So what are you trying to avoid here specifically?
Soren is honestly most concerned with anyone in the house seeing that he is upset after speaking to his parents, because it's known that this is the time that they call. And so, despite the revelations that Zeke just tried to help drop on him and everything else that he is processing, the thing he wants to avoid the most is anyone seeing a reaction from him that they could then use to say Soren's parents aren't treating him well, or they said something that hurt him. He wants to avoid that.
You know that the best way to throw people off the track is to look busy and active and sociable. So what this is going to cost you, I tell you what this costs you. What this is going to cost you is your privacy. So as much as I think Soren desperately wants a moment away from everyone, maybe especially away from Zeke right now, who's being such a douche, you really, you want to be away. You want to try to just deal with all this, but it you can't. You're almost too upset to allow yourself to process. You're going to have to go in the backyard and like play badminton with Pork Chop. Well, no, Pork Chop is playing chess. Dandelion is playing badminton with Kibo and Penny, which means that Dandelion and Penny are playing badminton and Kibo is running back and forth.
And Soren would probably go more towards Porkchop, since he has been trying to bond with Porkchop somewhat since their first interaction, where they both attempted to have a successful social moment together. He has been trying to keep that going, so he would definitely go there and just try to like dive into a chess game.
Yes, excellent. Yeah, so he's sitting there. He's sitting here at the board, just sort of like looking at the board, and every so often he moves a piece. Mr. Grimpley is elsewhere at the moment, um, and yeah, he's like, "Oh, hey, Soren, you want to play?"
I was about to say, doesn't it work better with 2 people?
Definitely, it definitely does. I was watching some like tapes of Kasparov and Deep Blue, and I'm basically just sitting here pretending I'm Kasparov, and that's just not. I don't feel like I'm supposed to actually admit that.
No, I think that was pretty cool. I have no idea what any of that means,
Is
but
it? He laughs and he's like, yeah, let's play. How good is Soren at chess?
probably not great.
Cool. So I'm gonna say roll with mind.
Cool.
Just pure mind, real
This
quick.
is gonna go really well.
It's gonna go really well. You could roll boxcars.
Could also roll a 4.
Dope. Yeah, he wipes the absolute table with you. Like it's like, yeah, but it does work. Everyone sees you out having fun with the family. Your saw that, Brendan. Appreciate that. Yeah, you're out here, you're playing. Everyone sort of sees you out here playing. Kibo comes running over and like bounds over as a puppy and then like turns into a toddler halfway through and kind of does the little stumble. And then hands you a train, like a toy train, and just says, "Train."
And Soren takes it and says, thanks, Kibo.
Throw train? Throw train.
And Soren does not know at all what to do with a toddler, and I think probably just like drops down on his knees and starts like pushing it on the ground.
Throw train. He picks it up and like chucks it and then runs off after it. And then keeps bringing it back to
play fetch.
The werewolf toddler wants to play fetch. It's both adorable and horrifying at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Adorifying, if you will.
It is adorifying. Kibo is adorifying. Especially because he does not stay in the same shape at all. Like at any given moment, he's a puppy, he's a person, he's a puppy, he's a person. Like constantly changing in a way that, you know, from having done a bunch of research into how werewolves do, is not really how werewolves do at any point. So, what do you guys do on the weekends? Usually. Does anybody have big weekend
Tech
plans?
for Guys and Dolls Jr. is about to start. So
There you go.
Penny's going to go for the 12-hour build day. And she's absolutely bringing some muffins.
Yep. Protein muffins. So, you know, it's you're maintaining good energy.
Oh, yeah. No, I put flaxseed in them. They're bran. So, you know, you keep them regular and you get your protein.
Horrifying.
Love Penny so much.
Penny's
adorifying.
Adorifying.
I think Sefer, I think when Sefer doesn't have appointments with Dr. Thesiger, I think that Sefer is probably, well, I think so. So first, if Sefer doesn't have appointments with Dr. Thesiger, and Sefer hasn't gotten a page from Jerome to hang out and or tag along while Jerome gets into mischief, then Sefer is probably messing with stuff on their workbench, and or researching ways to get additional objects for said workbench.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Imogen probably is actually like literally just at the library, but trying, using the library desperately to not look for anything like related to the church, but trying to find anything so far detached from the church. So probably like I don't know if Twilight exists in this universe, but whatever analogous like trashy teen romance that exists, that's probably what.
Imogen strikes me as having been like they were a horse girl.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they were little, like they read
Yes.
Ashley's Wonder. Did any of the rest of you guys read that book, that series when
No.
you were kids?
Yep.
Yep. I loved those books as a child.
I was not a horse girl. I, alas, cannot relate.
Yeah, I was a weeb and continue to be a weeb as a child, or as an adult.
The transition from horse girl to weeb was abrupt and alarming to my parents.
110%.
But hey, my best friend in Germany had just moved to Germany from Japan, so obviously it was going to happen.
Got that hookup.
Got that hookup. She knew the good animes. No, she didn't. It was Gundam Wing. It was all Gundam Wing all the time.
Hey, Gundam
only
Wing.
Wait. Implying Gundam isn't a good anime?
So
Gundam
good.
Wing was the gateway for many of us, both horse girl and otherwise.
Yes. Horse girl to mech girl, not.
It's a pipeline.
It's a pipeline.
It's totally a pipeline.
And especially in the case of Gundam Wing, with all of those incredibly B-show pilots.
Catra was a horse girl.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Catra was just 100. A horse girl.
Even with like Cartoon Network scrubbing out most of like the gay subtext from Gundam Wing, I was 11 years old watching the scene of Catra and Troa have their flute and violin duet, and I watched that scene and I was like, oh, they're super gay. They are turbo gay.
Their love is beyond, that.
Their love is more powerful than any Gundam.
Yes, their love is more powerful than any Gundam. It is known. Anyway, horse girl books, are being read. Trashy romances, are definitely available. Various things.
It's kind of like this is the thing that before Cassie became Danny, they would go to the library together and like secretly read these like trashy romances that were out of their age group together in the library.
Mm-hmm. And now it's kind of it's there's something a little. It sounds like a little bit like a little sad, but a little full circle for you, because these books are out of your age group again, but it's because you're too old for them.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was definitely at the time, it was you and Cassie being like, oh, we're reading about girls kissing boys, and now you're like, oh, this seemed really subversive
back in the day.
And I was definitely just in elementary school reading a book for middle schoolers, and now I'm in high school reading a book for middle schoolers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not to be like, I don't want to be around any of the other people, but like I feel so detached from the rest of the party because I'm like a representative of the church.
Yeah.
And it's just like, where's the line that Imogen doesn't know where that line becomes blurred, and if it's even allowed for that line to become blurred, but with the youth group.
Well, one thing that as you're sitting here, you're sort of one of the reasons why you're reading these books. Part of it is nostalgia. Part of it is just like escapism, remembering happier times. And part of it is that your analytical mind can be kind of spinning in the background.
Mm-hmm.
And you're sort of sitting there thinking, like, how am I saving the archive?
Exactly.
That's, all of when the shit went down with your dad, you, at the time, that was the most powerless you have ever felt because you were a child. You were a literal child.
Mm-hmm.
Because you are 16 now,
17.
17 now,
The brink of adulthood.
the brink of adulthood. At almost 15, you had no power, no ability to even gain power, and you were
Mm-hmm.
and you were just old enough to be aware of power and how it could be obtained and used. And now you're sitting here like, I don't have a lot. I got some.
But there's some.
And you think about one of the people from the youth group that you know, that you've worked with before, who has helped you occasionally find some arcane items and some things of questionable legality here and there. You remember that Sefer is not bad at finding things. Maybe they wouldn't be bad at finding things out either.
Would I have Sefer's number?
How? Yeah, I think they were the person who got you stuff for uh your collection, right? We had
Yes. Yeah.
in your
Sorry.
debts. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you would.
I believe I do. Yes.
Yeah.
So you're already a little bit, I think, in Sefer's debt.
I have it the reverse. I have
Oh.
it that I owe Imogen a debt.
Yes, because I got
Yes.
Sefer stuff.
You got
Yes.
Sefer
It's the
stuff.
other way.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Imogen got Sefer some forbidden text information about homunculi from
Yes.
the archives.
Yep. That's exactly it.
So even better, they're already in your debt.
There's the scene, like Imogen gets to the scene in the book of like the hunky like the hunky Fey man is like laying in the field with like the desperate and like swooning like human girl, and they're about to like kiss or whatever when Imogen like sits
Passionate hand holding.
exactly. Imogen sits straight up in like the beanbag that they've been like sunken into for the past couple hours, like, oh my god, hold on. And like just starts talking out loud to themselves as they like shoot off a text to Sefer, like, hey, weird question. What are you doing today and how quickly can you get to the library?
Pagers. Remember,
Paging.
Yep.
So Sefer gets an unexpected page from Imogen, and we'll call, and hey, Imogen, I got your buzz.
How quickly can you get to the library?
Actually really, really fast, but I probably shouldn't go that fast for safety reasons, and also my dad asked me not to. But I can still get there like pretty fast.
If you want to bring the rest of the youth group or whatever, that's fine. But I think I'm wondering if maybe we can put our heads together and check something out. I have concerns.
Sure. Do you want me to call the rest of the group?
I don't have their numbers.
Oh, okay. Well, I have Penny's number. I could ask Penny.
Do we need to establish a phone tree or something? Are we okay?
Yes. Like from a logistical standpoint, yeah, that would be pretty optimal. Assuming that you're trying to put together a regular group for hijinks, though I do not know why it is that I would think that you'd be doing that.
I've never done a single hijink in my entire life.
No,
In fact,
all of your jinks are decidedly low.
yeah, I'm trying to prevent hijinks, actually.
So okay, so tell you what, I'll call I'll call Penny or whatever, and then I'll lope on over there.
Okay. I'll be here. Thank you, Sefer.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's like whatever.
Yeah.
I love Sefer so much. So you call Sefer, you call Penny?
I do.
Great.
Yep.
Yep.
Hey, is this Penny?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Yeah, no, that's really cool. I mean, yeah, sorry. This is this is Sefer, from like church group.
Yeah, no,
with
I fully recognize
with-
your voice.
no, with like the livers, right? Yes.
Yeah, with
cool.
the livers, yeah.
No, that's cool. That's really cool. It's neat. Hey, so what I was calling you is Imogen, from church group, right? Called me and was like, hey, do you guys want to meet at the library? To do you can't even get through that shit myself.
Sorry.
I can't even get through my own goddamn bits.
Brandon, you have to stop.
No. I shan't. It's Christmas.
Nope.
But so to like get together a group for doing some sort of kind of like I don't know, they weren't very specific, but I think it had something to do with jinx, high or low in nature.
Jinx.
And I guess, and also like I mean I don't have Soren's number, but I know that like you guys like live together or whatever, so like you just you could tell Soren to come. I kind of prefer if he didn't bring his fox, but I guess I have no way of stopping him from doing that.
Oh my goodness, Sefer, the fox is, maybe we should discuss this fox, because that fox freaks me out.
Okay, so it's not just me, right? Okay, so that fox is being a fox all wrong. That fox is wearing foxness wrong.
I don't know what that means, but yes.
I'm just saying that the emanations are very not correct.
Agreed. Fully agreed. Yes. I will let Sora know, and then we will meet at the library for jinx of some sort.
Yes, okay. Good. Awesome.
Perfect.
I will see you there. Yes, cool. Very cool.
Awesome and cool.
Awesome
Thank
and cool.
you.
Yes, very good.
As these two do a classic
Worst goodbye.
a classic what I call a social worker goodbye.
I cannot. I'm so sorry.
That's horrible. Truly horrible.
That's why you never give me the mic for literally any reason.
Donate $10 to get Brendan to just knock it the fuck off.
Don't. He won't. He won't
Never.
do it. No, never. But that's why
$10
we
to
love
get him to stop. $20 to get him to keep going, please.
Yes.
$8,000. I will stop.
And to pronounce words the way he pronounced library. That was inspired.
Just become William Shatner. Just become William Shatner for $5,000 for $5,000. For $5,000, Brendan just becomes William Shatner.
Oh my god.
For 8,000 unclean souls, I will stop.
There's something on the wing. Something on the wing.
right.
And I guess at that point, having yes, Sefer will then. What time of day is it?
It's after school, mid October. So it is solidly getting dark.
Okay.
Like becoming dusk. But all of you, none of you like. No, Penny has a curfew. Penny and Soren have curfews, but it's like you've got to be home by like 9. Sefer and Imogen, you don't really have curfews. Imogen, your parents sat you down at one point and were like, "We trust you to be curfewless. We trust that you will not betray this trust. If it is betrayed, a curfew will come back." So
Classic move.
it was one of those sort of classic, like, we are consciously extending to you this freedom to see what you do with it. Please don't screw up and make us regret this.
This is what my father did to me. Fortunately, in his case, it's mostly because he knew the only thing I was doing it was fucking vampire LARP. So
that's pretty much how it happened with me as well. They were like, "Yeah, I'm not worried about you running off and doing drugs. You're just playing Dungeons and Dragons. You're watching your friends play GoldenEye.
You're just a nerd. It's fine."
Yeah.
Flashing back to my mom, to the time that I actually did a bad. Well, it wasn't even a bad. I had permission to go to a concert. Did not tell my mom the concert was in Richmond, which was like 2 hours away. And so when my card was not working and I had to explain that, well, we were stuck in Richmond with no money for this concert. LOL.
But
Anyway.
so, given the time of night, it's getting a little bit dark. Sefer is going to be sort of following a route from their house to the library, that sort of takes kind of like some back alleys, and routes sort of like behind houses and between buildings. Is a little bit insulated from public view, and will be not going. It's not quite dark enough for them to go full inhuman mode of transportation, but is going to be running at a sustained clip that a regular human probably would not be able to sustain, and is going to be allowing themselves to lengthen to such a degree that their strides are quite prodigious.
It kind of sounds like you're trying to let it out.
Yeah, no, I think, yeah, I could be down to let it out.
Why don't you let it out?
Let it out, let it out. That's how that song goes, right?
Fuck around and find out.
Right, I'll roll with that spirit. Okay, that is another 11.
Dope. All right. So you ignore the corruption. Actually, no. You can choose. You roll a spirit on a hit, choose 1 and mark corruption. On a 10+, ignore the corruption or choose another from the list. So you can.
I am, in this case, since I'm not really doing it like with high stakes, I'm just going to ignore the corruption.
Sounds reasonable. So yeah, you do it. You run super fast. It is super easy. There's kind of a second here of like, oh, I could go a lot faster.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even be hard to go a lot faster.
Inadvisable to go a lot faster, but it wouldn't be hard.
Yep. So you definitely arrive there first.
Yeah.
I want to know, does Penny, do you ask Soren to leave his fox? Or do you?
I think that conversation probably happens when I let Soren know that that Sefer has requested, that Imogen has requested our presence at the library as communicated by Sefer for some investigative purposes that may or may not involve a level of jinx to be determined. Right? And And you know what? And it's an interesting, right? Like an interesting thing also, maybe, is what is going on with your fox? Is maybe an interesting question. And you know what? Maybe not my business, but maybe that I don't know if foxes are allowed in libraries.
And Soren's initial response to the mention of Jinx, high or otherwise, is, I have no idea what that means, but okay. But he definitely...
Honestly, I don't know either. Honestly, I really don't know either. But like, it's kind of fun being part of something, right?
Honestly, Penny, that is such a relief to hear you say that.
Okay.
I feel similarly.
Cool.
Why are you concerned about Zeke?
Oh, um, Sefer just mentioned that potentially he had a interaction with Zeke. That maybe he was uncomfortable. I think is the vibe that I picked up from Sefer, and I have to be completely honest in saying that I haven't had the most comforting interactions with Zeke. Um, and Penny's like eyeing Zeke the whole time of like, is it what's happening right now? And she's just gonna.
I specifically chose this shape because it was small and adorable. I do not understand why these people have a problem with me.
And Soren looks over at Zeke.
You do not hear that, Penny.
Yeah.
You just hear
Penny's
little
like
fox
mumbling.
noises.
You just see
Penny's
Soren
just like
look.
trailing off.
And
God.
Soren,
Okay.
And Soren isn't trying to hide it, so he just says, Zeke, I'm not sure why either. Your shape is fine.
I'm so fluffy. Is this not a thing that puts humans at ease? Small and fluffy things.
You are so small and fluffy.
I am very cute. He rolls over.
And you see Soren walk over and give Zeke a belly rub.
Sorry, Soren just fully like said, "You are so small and fluffy," and then walked up and gave him
I'm writing a very important business email.
Does it end with thank you for your time and attention. You are very small and fluffy.
I love that. With belly rubbins ever.
Yeah. That's all. Zeke has gotten what he wants out of this interaction.
Soren does ask Zeke, if I were to ask you to stay here, would that be possible?
Yes.
Would you be mad at me?
No.
Then I think I'll ask you to stay here, Zeke.
This is acceptable. Before you leave, I have a favor to ask. Use your opposable thumbs to open the bin of Kibo's food before you go. I wish to get into it.
I can do that. I can do that for you, Zeke.
Listen, I'm just saying function follows form sometimes. Yeah. So, Sefer, you arrive first at the library. It's a Friday night. There is a drag queen story time happening, sort of closing up. There's like a that's sort of happening in the corner. Um, uh, there's uh, a like a knitting circle meeting off in one of the library's like quiet rooms, conference rooms. Um, and yeah, so the library is a little busier than usual, but a lot of these things are kind of wrapping up because it's getting to be later in the evening. The library is open until like 9:30-ish or so. But a lot of people are like out of there by then unless they don't have anywhere else to go. Um, and Imogen, where are you in your okay? We'll come back to you for a second.
Oh no, I'm good.
Oh.
I just had to put in my signature.
Yeah.
So Imogen is well known enough by the library folks here that you know, if she asks for a table or like a study room, you know, they trust her to like take care of it. So there's going to be a study room kind of like on the first floor behind like the children's library area. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you go back there. You have relayed the information of where you're going to be to Sefer. Sefer, you come into the library, and you kind of see all of those things, and then you head back to beyond the children's section, where I believe the book they're reading is the children's classic, Give Me Back My Bones, which, if you know a child, you should give them that book. It is genuinely an adorable book about, it teaches your child skeletal anatomy. It's really cute. Theo loves it. Anyway, so yeah, pirate voice, "Arr, give me back my bones." And yeah, you go back to see not Amber, Imogen.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Uh, I'm so glad you all are here. I am so sorry to call you all to here on such short notice. And I know we've never really spoken before, but I have come into a bit of an issue in the church. And since I guess we're supposed to all be working together, you know, you all should be involved. Imogen is like stimming almost with like their thumbs, like twiddling their thumbs just to like, you know, have a place to channel their anxiety about everything. And you can probably see where like there's like one particularly like well-defined curl in her hair where she's probably like, you know, done that kind of thing. Yeah. So, okay. So I've been thinking about this all day and trying to go through all the resources and everything that I have, but I'm coming up short. The archives funding has been cut by the church, and it doesn't look good. I'm scared that they're going to be cutting all of our resources in the archive and, you know, losing all of the history and artifacts and secrets and everything the church has kept over the generations. And if we lose, yeah, she's like herded you all into the room having this monologue and is like anxiously pacing in the room and like close the door behind her, and like is just like pacing. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm nervous. I I don't know what to do, but we can't lose the archive. We can't. Everything we've ever known about saints, and trying not to look at Soren, and uh, and oracles and homunculi will be gone. If I don't know, I need help, and I didn't know where else to turn to. And the more I talk, the more I realize this is just not going to work. I'm so sorry. Okay, all right,
Ooh.
sorry.
I think Petty probably steps up and is like, "Hey, Imogen, it's okay. It's okay." Just tap a little bit on her shoulder, maybe.
Yeah,
I could, I should like look back to Soren and Sefer and be like, I think we're all really grateful that you asked for our help. Right?
Definitely.
Right, guys?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
I know I can't go to the adults about this. The adults aren't going to do anything.
Oh no, definitely not.
Sefer
Oh
seems
no, I
oddly.
mean, yeah,
Sefer seems
probably not.
oddly distracted by still listening to the listening surprisingly intently to the story of "Give Me Back My Bones."
Sefer missed everything.
It's like, oh no, yeah, sorry, humorous, right? Yes, I mean what you said was very humorous. It was, yes, yes.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well,
Okay.
okay. So, hey, we could maybe we could we could try to figure this out.
Why don't you guys, if you can, I would like just all three of you real quick to roll mind for me, just to see what you already know about the archive. Not you, Amber.
Yeah.
You know about the archive.
I was like, oh, I have a +2 in mine.
Yeah.
Nail it.
What'd you get, JD? That's a great face.
I got a
5.
5. I rolled a 7, but I have a -2 to mind.
The archive exists.
That
Big
tracks.
library, big librarians.
Many books.
Many books.
Many book.
Many book. So many book.
Penny got a 10.
Damn.
So,
Oh, we're gonna get
yeah,
back
girl.
to you.
Filling out the success curve, Sefer got an 8.
All right. Sefer, with your 8, the best way that you can think of as of the library, you were kind of born decanted with all of your own knowledge. You sometimes find yourself knowing things that you don't know how you know, or there's things that you know that you don't have context for, but you know them. You have access to this well of knowledge. Losing the archive is functionally an external source of this for people. And losing this would be potentially disastrous, but also the Library of Alexandria burned and humanity went on. People seem to gain and lose knowledge all the time. Historically speaking, this could be a problem. It could not be a problem. It's clearly a problem to them. Um, Penny, the 10, you know that the archive is bigger than your local archive. The archive as an organization is a little bit like it's really hard to find a way to a thing to describe it as, but it's
Almost omnipotent or omniscient.
omniscient. Yeah, it's the global force of the archive is all of the church's learning. The local archives, the local archive offices are also also important. They sort of function similarly as like a community library. But the global archive as a structure is as integral to the church and the mission of the church as uh, as anything short of like mass itself, as anything short of spreading the gospel itself. There's sort of a that's where the good news is stored, basically. So having you have this context in your head. There's like the local offices, and then there's this sort of big global organization and structure of the archives. And you're not sure which of those is getting cut, because what they said was the archive.
Right. Would Petty's mom have any knowledge of any of this going on?
You don't know. I'm going to say you just don't know, but I will, next time you're interacting with your mother, allow you to roll mortality to find out.
All right, cool. Sweet.
Yeah. So these are sort of the things that you guys know about the archive. It's a library. Libraries burn all the time. It's not just a library, but a massive system of libraries.
Also, hi, Raiders.
Hi, Raiders. How you guys doing?
Hi, Jack. Thanks for the raid.
Hello, friends.
We are here engaging in both high and low jinks in a library about a different library.
I mean, where else do you have jinx but libraries?
When you don't have a car, you work with what you've got. And that's the
True.
local library. Do any of you guys have questions for Imogen, who has now given you this info dump of what their concerns are?
All of my characters are autistic? What is this? Never.
So I guess what is it that you think we can do?
You have connections I don't.
I do. I mean, how did you know that? I mean, what?
All of you do. All of you have connections and pull and influence that I don't, and ways of finding out
social
things.
connections, not bodily connections. Okay.
Oh, gosh.
Imogen like looks behind you to see like if there's like a cord running from like the base of your spine to like some extent, but doesn't find anything. Or does she? No, I my mom's really high up in the church. I can't be caught rooting around. As much as I want to, I can't, because I don't want to jeopardize her spot. And my family's already kind of like in a weird place ever since my dad was, deemed a heretic. So, I don't know. I was just hoping for some neutral third parties.
Do you consider me neutral, Imogen? I mean, given that I'm a saint, I don't know if that makes me a neutral party here.
You're not connected to the archive.
That's true. Is it a matter of money, of getting support, or is this something that you don't want to be public at all?
I just kind of want to find out who did it.
Like, who pulled the support from the archive?
I want to know who did it. Tell Cersei it was me. No, joking.
Yikes. Imogen, this is also like a challenging situation for me given my standing, but I understand also when you say the archive is losing its funding, do you mean like the archive? Do you mean like the archive? You know what I'm
Della, would I
asking?
know that?
You would know that you examined the documents after your boss came in, and like the sort of the senior librarian, the senior archivist came in. You all examined the documents and read about it. So your branch of the archive is getting like a 25% cut to your budget. The archive as a whole is also suffering budgetary cuts, but nowhere near as severe.
Okay, so
What you're seeing is that the archive as a whole has experienced a budget cut, and so the archive is looking at has had to select specific institutions of where that's going to come from.
okay. Well, and Imogen kind of like leans on the wall. Like both of their shoulders flush against the wall. Most of the cuts are to us, our local archive, the one here. But there have been budget cuts kind of through the the overall organization as well, but it's not as devastating as what we would face locally.
It's just so strange, right? Because the archive is so important to the church, and that's where we keep all of our history and all of our everything that we learn from. You know, it's all there.
If I
It is strange.
if I get caught snooping in places that I'm, like not like supposed to, it it could be bad for me and for my family, for reasons. But at the same time, having been given this information, I sincerely doubt I'm going to be able to leave it alone, even if I wanted to. So
Yeah.
So I guess So I guess I'm in.
Oh,
Just
I'm
with that caveat that I just would like people to know that it could potentially be bad. Just for if me specifically were found to be doing certain things that could be construed as being yeah.
I don't think we want that for you, Sefer, and I'm just going to put this out there. I mean, it sounds like you, Imogen, because of your connection to the archive, and you, Sefer, because of how it would affect you and your family, that maybe directly trying to find information isn't what the two of you should be doing. But Penny, I know you're probably going to be mad at me for saying this. I don't think anyone would look twice at the two of us if we were to be found trying to get information. I mean,
Spicy.
why wouldn't a saint want to find more information that the archives hold about saints?
And why wouldn't Junior, this youth group leader, want to have a full arsenal of holy texts in order to help spread the word of our Lord? Oh boy. Oh boy.
So I'm wondering in this room right now, does this feel like it qualifies as an intimacy move for anybody? This is kind of a lot of yours first, maybe not yours, Imogen, but everyone else's kind of first little conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting into a jinx.
You're getting into some jinx. I feel
Jinxing
like
it up.
I feel like some people's intimacy moves might be triggering here. I'm just
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's not that I want you guys to advance too quickly, but since you don't advance with failures, and wow, people have been rolling just aces today, I'd like to just give you guys some opportunity.
I could trigger my intimacy move and be like, I would owe you all a huge debt for anything. Anything you ask.
Yeah.
This would not only, I mean, this is for not just me and my livelihood or whatever, but for the, I don't know. I feel like if we get rid of the archive, if we cut the archive, someone's trying to prevent people from learning something. This is for the education of us all. So yeah, Imogen would owe you all a debt if you say yes to this.
Yep. Functionally, that cancels the debt you have with Soren with
Sefer.
Sefer.
Okay, sick. That's fine.
But
Stupid having the same starting letter and also the same number of letters and also a similar cadence.
it doesn't matter. You're all named Soren. Everybody's Soren. This game is just all
We are-
Soren.
Oops, all Soren.
Oops, all Soren.
Sorens. I'm so sorry for all of you.
Because the GM,
Oh, no.
I don't know how I don't do this with clients. Because their names are on my
I was actually about to say
electronic
that.
medical record. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
electronic medical records. That's how it works. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so does anybody else's intimacy moves trigger?
I could potentially trigger mine. I I guess I think, frankly, at the same time, if we're going to work together on something like this, I guess I should probably disclose something. Yeah, it would not just be bad for me and my family if I were found to be doing certain things. If you were found to be doing certain things in proximity to me, that could also be kind of bad, maybe. The main crux of it being I am uh oh gosh, how do I say this? I am not in the strictest sense a person. Um I am not strictly speaking a human.
Oh, Sefer, don't talk about yourself like that, buddy.
That
You're
isn't a nice
human.
way to
You're
talk about yourself,
so-
At that
Sefer.
point, I think in response to that,
Oh.
Sefer will just like fully straighten up. And Sefer it will be difficult to ignore the fact that Sefer is very visibly proportioned oddly. The spine is too long, the limbs are too long. Yeah.
People come in all shapes and sizes, baby.
It's true.
I think Penny fully recognizes at this moment that this not person is not a person, and probably has a moment of like, wow, I did not notice just how odd this really was.
At which point I think Sefer will sort of like pop their neck a bit, just very loudly, kind of like pop all their joints, like, oh.
Are you
oh.
okay?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I just kind of like, I don't know. I hunch a lot. Just kind of, to kind of keep it on the DL. But it is not very good for my posture. That much is true.
Can I make that trigger Penny's intimacy move and have her fully faint onto Sefer?
Dilla, you
What
are
is your
muted.
intimacy move?
It's a moment of intimacy, physical, or Della, you're definitely muted. Physical or emotional with another person, and then I gain a
Valid.
vision about them.
Okay. You gain a specific and clear vision about that person's future. You can ask up to 3 questions about the vision, marking corruption for each.
Yeah. I feel like fainting at the sound of someone cracking their neck is a moment of physical intimacy, wouldn't you say?
Fainting at it doesn't sound like a moment of intimacy to me. But if you have a moment of recognition of them, and you experience a moment of fellow feeling, if you recognize that this is a moment of intimacy, that they are laying themselves bare for you, and they're laying these secrets bare for you, and you feel maybe like you could do the same for them, that would be fine. I think their intimacy move has definitely triggered. So
yeah. Generally, that move is more specifically about me asking people a question about being human. But in this case, if you'll allow it, I'm sort of establishing the baseline by revealing explicitly that I am not human to be asking those questions in the first place.
I would be willing with that intimacy move. How people respond to this reveal will determine the other part of this intimacy move.
Mm-hmm.
I think Imogen specifically, through their research and existence in the archives, has seen a lot of weird shit. And like somebody being long and cracking their bones, it wouldn't like set off a something's wrong here.
But I would submit that given the information that Sefer was asking you about, and that with that context, you might be able to fully put 2 and 2 together as to what Sefer is.
Here's my rebuttal. Maybe not in this moment, but it might be like a shower thought. You know?
No, for this to be truly their intimacy move, they are making it plain they are not human. They are a homunculus. You all would have in your history books seen pictures of homunculi. And when they like kind of hunch themselves over and like put their hair in front of their face and like make themselves kind of into a weird person, they like put on the clothes of a strange person, and everyone's just like, that's Sefer, they're a kind of strange person, we don't mind. Or maybe we're John Snipe and we're a bitch and we have it coming. But that's neither here nor there. This, you cannot ignore it. It is very clear what this person is.
Okay, all right. Then yeah. Then this would do that for you.
Yeah.
And I think what may also make it a little bit more obvious is that as Sefer is lengthening, you can probably also see now that they are not now that like their limbs and neck and such are sort of fully extended, you can see on their neck and like the backs of their arms, sort of like the edges of like the alchemical birthmarks that normally would be a particular sign of a homunculus, but that normally Sefer is keeping hidden with clothing.
Actually, is there a particular move I can do?
Yeah, so this is a situation where I'm not going to make any of you make rolls to like keep your cool or something like that, but just to give a little bit of context, this is like someone in full context. This is someone revealing that they are a Nazi weapon.
Hear me out, Della. Since homunculi technically aren't people, they're objects.
Yeah, go on.
Oh man, what a way to start a proposal.
We're cruising into some theologically dodgy ground already. Let's go.
When you appraise an arcane object, roll with mind. On a hit, ask the MC questions. This is appraisal.
I feel like I got to allow it.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Not to literally objectify you, but since you did specifically have me look up information for you about homunculi.
Yeah. Very, very, very clinical scientific information about this Panzer assault tank that just sort of unfurled before you.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh God! If any of you have y'all need to read "A Tank Fears Only Four Things" by Seth Dickinson.
I'm into it.
It's very gay and sweet and fucked up.
Okay, yeah, now you've got my attention.
I was like, I'm not reading shit about Nazis. I'm not reading shit about dick. Yeah, never mind. I rolled a...
Have you never reading shit about dick?
Reading shit about dick.
What?
It's a short story. You can find it on the internet. Anyway, what did you roll? For
a 6. Never mind. I'm just like, yeah. But I probably clocked that it's a homunculus, but like,
see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. On a miss, the object is cursed.
Oh no!
Oh God!
Well, we knew. We knew.
No.
It was cursed.
He's cursed already. They're cursed already.
I'm not going to make that happen. I am going to hold that for a different GM move later.
There we go. There we go. Delayed rammies.
This is going to be some delayed rammies as opposed to the immediate rammies this move ordinarily would have. What I should have done if you are ever going to be GMing Urban Shadows in the future, is know what the players' moves do before you let them roll them, so you can avoid things like this. But anyway, we focus on the narrative first.
Yes.
Love the narrative.
So how do you respond? You all realize this living Panzer tank has just moved its gun turret on its own and is sort of standing in the same room with you, complaining about its posture.
Sefer has just been a V2 rocket in a trench coat this entire time.
I'm sorry, Sefer, if you don't mind my impropriety in asking, what, pray tell, the fuck?
Yeah, honestly, you wouldn't honestly think that like just having bad posture would really kind of throw so many people off the scent, but like honestly, I'm as surprised as you.
No, like, how are you here?
Why are you here?
I am actually Penny. Do you want to get one in?
You see Petty sort of like considering you, right? This sort of like curious. I think you see her eyes sort of like follow all of the parts of your body that are much longer than they ought to have been, all of the places on shut up, Della. All
I
of the
didn't say shit.
places on your body where you see like the birthmarks, and she's just kind of like eyeing each of them, sort of like in awe, not judgmental, just in awe. And she just kind of like shakes her head a little bit and keeps looking.
Well, I guess so. In order, I guess it would be how is a forbidden experiment of unknown provenance somewhere in, I think, Ohio. I am, to my knowledge, the last of my kind. And as to why, well, my parents felt that it was important for me to get proper socialization. Soren, I see your hand up.
I love Sefer.
Yeah.
I love Sefer.
I'm so glad this bit has gelled.
I might need some time to process my thoughts and feelings about this Sefer. I'm sorry if that's rude.
No. I've run through this particular scenario. I want to say at least north of 889 times. And so this has been accounted for.
Are you dangerous?
That question is going to require some additional qualifiers. Like, am I dangerous in like a purely objective sense, or am I dangerous to you in this moment right now?
Both.
In order, yes, incredibly, and no, not at all. I am an engineered living walking biological weapon that is intended to be able to single-handedly neutralize at least an entire squad of church hunters by myself. But in this moment, I'm talking to you guys about doing Jinx and listening to a story about bones. And I don't want to hurt anybody.
Previously unsaid sentences in human history.
I think with that, Penny kind of steps up to Sefer, and you and I think you probably notice at this point that she has just like been looking, right? Been staring at your body. Again, not in this judgmental way. She's just trying to she's just curious. And similar to that feeling that Penny got when she felt like she just had to reach out and touch Zeke, she's going to sort of reach up as high as she can and attempt to just like brush Sefer's hair out of his face. And with that, I think she's very intentionally going to try to skim the surface.
Ooh, fantastic. Roll for it.
Okay, hold on. What's my spirit again? Oh, here it is. I got a 10. Again, a 6, a 3.
Damn.
Hold on.
Love it.
Okay, Justin. All right, you're allowed to be here.
There we go. All right. So on a 10, you have your questions. On a 10, you can ask 3.
Yes,
You can
ma'am.
ask 3 of these questions. The questions are, what is your character thinking about right now? Who are you protecting? Why are you keeping secrets? And what is your character's hidden pain?
Yeah. So, go ahead.
And
Okay.
Sefer, you have to answer these. I don't, GM don't know shit.
Yeah. So I think I don't think Penny doesn't think that Sefer is trying to keep any secrets right now, right? So I think the first thing that Penny's gonna ask is, what is Sefer thinking about right now?
Sefer is thinking about. I think the main thought in Sefer's mind right now is, was this a mistake?
Oh, right. And Penny hears that sort of like she feels it, that like doubt, that potential like fear and shame sort of creeping through her fingers as she like kind of gently like retracts from your hair. And then the next question, who are you protecting?
Sefer, I think, is sort of thinking about now that they have sort of revealed some of this information, thinking about all of the various simulations that they have run of how such a disclosure might go down with different people. Thinking about if this does go to the worst case scenario, how will this impact them? But even more so, actually, how it will impact their adoptive mother and father, Father Carl and Sister Marie.
And you feel Penny's hand slide down your face to this like spot on your neck where it's kind of like lumpy a little bit, right? And
Two little bone spurs that vaguely look like bolts, under the skin,
exactly. And she sort of like her finger sort of like slides over that. And the last question that she'll ask is, where is Sefer's hidden pain?
Yes, give me your pain, like Star Trek 5. Sefer's hidden pain is, I think, in this moment that they had started to become accustomed to people mistaking them for a person rather than an object. And in this moment, they can see that slipping away.
Her hand will drop down to her side. And in response to that feeling, that thought, feeling that feeling in her body, I think Penny says, I don't know if I properly thanked you for the chicken liver, but thank you. It's a good, friendly thing to do.
That's yeah, that's, you know, it's like yeah, it's like whatever. And you do, I will say, like through that lingering sort of scan the surface connection, you get the sense that if Sefer had been engineered to possess tear ducts, they would be crying a little.
Aw.
Baby.
Mm.
Sweet baby. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing. Your intimacy move, we're altering your intimacy move to suit the game, to suit the narrative a little bit in this moment.
Mm.
Ordinarily, Sefer's intimacy move is when you share a moment of intimacy, physical or emotional, with another person, ask them an invasive question about being human. If they answer honestly, mark redemption. If they deflect or offer falsehood, they must give you a debt. In this case, what we're doing is Sefer is revealing themselves to be inhuman.
Right.
And those of you who are accepting of this, for every person who is accepting of this, Sefer, you may mark redemption. Those of you who are less than accepting will owe them a debt. Now, again, do what your character would do. We satisfy the narrative first. But that's the mechanic. That's how we're shifting this mechanic.
But I do want all of you to know that if any of you do reject Sefer, I, Brendan, will hate you out of character.
Sorry, Brendan.
I love it. I love it.
Next Academy H is going to be really awkward.
Beautiful.
Oh boy.
V2 Rocket in a trench coat also describes Kaz, though.
I mean, you know, you're not wrong.
I think just by the pure nature of what Imogen does, they would be accepting from like a purely like informational and like knowledge-based standpoint.
I'm prepared to accept this intellectually. I may have to process it emotionally.
And I will say Soren genuinely wants to be accepting, and Sefer's honesty about their dangerous nature and what Soren does know about what Sefer is makes him deeply uneasy. And he does not want to feel unsafe. And I think he shows that rejection with the fact that he steps away from Sefer and crosses his arms over his chest. He doesn't look disgusted, but he does look uneasy and uncomfortable.
This is because I talk shit about your fox, isn't it?
That probably doesn't help.
Yeah, it doesn't really help looking at my fox like that. Also, I came into this feeling unsafe, having heard rumors of what happened between you and John Snipe. So this just kind of reaffirms that, even though John Snipe is a bitch.
And had it coming.
Yes.
And had it coming.
All right. Mechanically speaking, Imogen's move triggered for everyone else. Everyone else mark power. If you do not already have it marked.
Mark power.
Brendan's intimacy move triggered. Everybody mark wild.
Including me or just everybody else?
Just everybody else. You
Just
should
everybody else.
start with your own thing marked.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. I will have that marked then.
Yeah, you should all start with your own thing marked.
Okay, cool.
That won't maintain, but I believe everybody should start with their own thing marked. Does this advance anybody?
I am still Shine Knight, so.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does anybody else's intimacy moves trigger at this moment? Soren, you seem really closed off, so I very much this you're sort of closed off from further intimacy right now, but I am curious about Penny.
I think, I mean, right, we talked about a physical intimacy being this sort of like accepting of what Sefer truly is. And I think that moment of skimming the surface, right, what Sefer sees from Penny's face in that moment when she's like, right, sort of touching Sefer probably in a way that he's not really experienced.
I mean, Penny caressed the neck bolts.
Right?
Exactly. Penny caressed those neck bolts. I think what is emanating from Penny in this moment is that warmth, right? That curiosity without judgment. And what youth pastor Sam said earlier, right? Seeing the good in everyone. She caressed those neck bolts.
She caressed those neck bolts. So here's what you see. For your intimacy move, Penny, you Oracle is Scholar and the Oracle power? No, the Scholar's mortality. Yeah, you all mark mortality for Imogen's move. Set power. Everyone mark mortality.
Mm-hmm.
Penny, your intimacy move, you see in that moment, you see a open field, an open plain. That just goes on and on and on, stretching out toward infinity, just rolling grass. That sort of almost like silvery, where like the pale undersides of the grass stalks start like shift up with the wind. And you see Sefer standing before a they described Zeke earlier like as if they were wearing the clothes of reality badly, like they were a piece of misfolded reality. This is standing in front of Sefer is the opposite, and it is its opposite and even more potent in scope. You see the suggestion of wings in light. You see the vague shape of a hand, although the light is so bright, you're not sure you really understand how you're seeing. And you see that hand touch Sefer's forehead. And those alchemical markings shed from their body.
Whoa.
Like dust in wind. That is where we will end today's session.
You can't do that to us,
Damn.
Stella. You can't do that to us.
Next session, We can
God.
start up. You may ask up to 3 questions, marking corruption for each. And you know, we will start that up next session. I am a little disappointed I didn't move things along enough to get to my screaming preacher scene.
I as
That's
well, because
fine.
I was saving a funny voice donation for that specifically.
Oh damn!
Well,
Oh
next time,
man,
next
that
time,
would be
next
great.
time.
Next time. Next
Ah.
time. Oh, and maybe at some point we can get to a snake pit of some sort.
Maybe.
I've been promising y'all snake pit for a minute.
You have.
Seriously.
And that's a sentence that I have now said in the English language.
That's what this
Yay.
game is for.
It's true.
It's true. All right. Thank
Snake
you
pits only.
all. This has been a Live from the Apocalypse production. We are all very glad to be here. You can find me, Della Collins, your excellent GM, here every other Friday. You can also find me every other Thursday at JD's table for Redacted, playing Rachel Blauhair, she's not up to shit. She's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. That game
and-
is everything's fine.
Bonamest. And again, we have been raising money for the First Nations Development Institute, and I would very much like to, like I said last night, I very much like to plug the First Nations Development Institute, and as well ask that everyone listening look up your local tribes, look up what is going on in your area, not just for like land acknowledgements and things like that, but to see what people are actually doing. You could find out some very interesting and cool things. I did not know that the Lenape Nation of Pennsylvania has never been acknowledged by the state of Pennsylvania. So if you are in Pennsylvania or know anyone in Pennsylvania, check out lenape-nation.org or .com, it's .org, to find out how you can help push the state government to actually recognize its native tribes. This is important shit. There are all sorts of other ways that you can help out your local tribes that aren't necessarily super well advertised. But find out what's going on. Help people. That's what we're about. Anyway, that's me. Amber, tell people more about where they can find you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Amber, also known as the Space Jamber. I'm a TTRPG writer, editor, podcaster, and streamer, and I am excited to help make your next game day, a magical time. You can find me at the Space Jamber anywhere there's internet. That includes Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Ravelry if you enjoy knitting or crocheting or whatever. I think the only things I have to plug are tonight is unfortunately my character's finale tonight here back at Live from the Apocalypse at 8 p.m. Eastern, a season of Secrets and Shadows, where I am playing Astrid Primer, a unicorn who, I don't know, might just, fucking fuck off forever. Who knows? But tomorrow, if you're based in the Washington, D.C. area, or you're within like an hour's driving distance and you want to say, hey, I want to support Black and Brown students and Black and Brown music students in in D.C., great. Come to St. Stephen's St. Stephen's Episcopal Church for Girls Rock DC's annual hat band show, where we'll be raising funds for Girls Rock DC, which is a nonprofit that actually does help ensure that Black and Brown students of marginalized genders do get access to the music education they need to keep that side of their brain active and happy. So that's 1 p.m. Eastern, St. Stephen's Episcopal Church in Columbia Heights. My husband will be playing. It's going to be exciting. So he'll be playing bass. It's going to be a good time.
Fantastic. Brendan.
Yes, hello. It is I, Brendan. I have just been Sefer all over this session. I'm so sorry, everyone.
Never apologize.
Never.
Never apologize for our
Sefer
precious
all
baby.
over.
It's too late to apologize.
when I'm not when I'm not being Sefer all over this session, I am being Alex Sandowski all over Academy H every other Sunday, and I am GMing as the architect of befuddlement and fury on missing numbers every other Tuesday. Should have also the office hours episode of Cryptid Community College dropping sometime this weekend. That it just has just some little extra goofs and such, and some unused content for all you guys out there. And also, and speaking, if you are also in the Northern Virginia area in the evening times tomorrow, and you and assuming you've already gone to the very, very excellent show that Amber just plugged in the evening times from 7 to 10. If you want to come check out, the Cascades Library is doing a Lord of the Rings mini convention out in Sterling. It is free. It is free to the publics to go and to do things. And also, my partner's putting in a lot of work helping to plan it, so I'm trying to get people out there. And yes, if you would like me to also make your games good and hopefully fun, and you like them and you are having a good time, you can email me about that at creative.catacombs@gmail.com. I'm very good at this.
So good.
Incredible.
And JD.
Yes. Hi, I am JD. In this game, I have been Saint Soren Augustine. You can find me in so many other things with Live from the Apocalypse, including Class Reunion. We'll be back next Tuesday, and Academy H. We will, fingers crossed, be back next Sunday. So those will be wonderful. I'm not going to plug everything else I'm doing because it is way too much. I will just simply say, come back if you are able to tonight for a season of Secrets and Shadows, especially since we will be waving goodbye to our incredible unicorn. And tomorrow, if you as much as I would like you to show up, there are so many other amazing things that were mentioned to show up to. But, if you have a chance, catch up with the VOD later on with RPGs Uncovered, where we will be starting our playtest of Locus. And I think I will leave that there for me. Follow me on socials, JD, not Jason Dean, for further updates, because for the next 20 days, I'll be doing a game pretty much a day. So check that out, and you can find out where I will be.
And Katie.
Hello, everybody. My name's Katie, and I do some things too. Maybe sometimes, I don't know, maybe. But for today, I've been Penny, and it's been a blast. And what else? I got nothing in my brain, you guys. I got absolutely nothing, and that's fine for right now.
That is so
It's
relatable.
fine. Well, thank you all so much for being here. JD, can you find us a place to raid? And then we can all take some naps.
Yes, what I will do, just while I'm searching for that, is bring us to the thanks for watching screen, and we will find someone to raid, so hang out, stay around for that, and come back tonight if you are able.
We will
We love you
love to
all.
have you.